All right, we are back with Joseph Levy.
Hello, Ben. Hello, everyone.
All
Yes,
right,
here we
trying to
are.
get rid of echoes and trying to do. Okay, great. So we're back with our 1 p.m. update. We're trying to do here free for everyone every day who are not yet Story Trading VIPs. It's another day of just amazing calls. So let's get ready to review those.
Yes, exciting.
All right. All right. So this morning at our 9 a.m. Eastern show, where we make predictions rather than reacting to price action, we make a prediction what price action is going to do based on catalysts and our interpretation of catalysts. How will that catalyst impact sentiment? How will it impact fundamentals? And then we check the charts and we decide if it's a play for the day or not. And sometimes also as long-term picks, they're triggers for swing plays, things like that. So the top 5 stocks. Well, really, it was top 6. You can see here was Costco, Palantir, Tesla, SMCI, which is doing great, up 4%, NVDA, and STKH. STKH was our number 1 pick yesterday. We made this our 6th pick of the day, but it did break out early in the day, and we've been focused on it. So let's just start there. STKH was our top pick yesterday morning. We had a 91-cent entry, 91-cent trigger on this, on the catalyst that came out in pre-market yesterday, and we understand the fundamentals of this company. That really helps a lot with our conviction where we think things are going. So based on all of that prior homework we did yesterday, we made a prediction. We gave you a target of the 200 DMA. It was at 107. It hit that 200 DMA at 107. Now, we didn't hold it overnight because of offering risk. This company doesn't need to raise money, so we didn't hold it overnight. Joseph, tell us what you did this morning.
Yeah, so I want to say I really want to pat ourselves on the back with this one because I think we played it really perfectly. Number one, the fact that we didn't hold it overnight because of the nature of penny stocks having the possibility of doing an offering. That was the right thing to do. We're managing a hedge fund. We took the risk off the table and we said, you know what? If it doesn't do an offering, we'll buy it back tomorrow. And that's exactly what we did. Once the market opened, I put a limit in at $1 and we filled. With a nice little allocation.
I think you got it. I think you got it pre-market actually. That dollar.
Maybe it was just actually before. Yeah. I think it was just after the show. You're right. In that 10-minute window, 9:20 to 9:30. Yeah, that's when I filled at $1. And then I didn't really want to sell anything until 129. That was my target.
So the targets, right? The targets we gave you yesterday, and I think I mentioned this morning, was that this could make a move to 150, which means that we wanted to sell in the 140s. If it makes a move towards 150. So are we all out at this point?
Yeah, we're all out at this point. The highest fill we got, I just checked, was 140. So we didn't get the high 143, but that's pretty damn close.
No, that's amazing, right? So we said, all right, let's sell in the 140s because we think it could hit 150. Now, look, this play may not be over, but this is the low-hanging fruit. 91 cents up to here. It's looking really strong. It's curling back up. Really, it's looking very strong. And it's got a market cap of 22 million. Very intriguing product and space they're in. Very powerful catalyst yesterday. The big problem here is they're going to need to raise a lot of money. So I don't know. Maybe we'll make a decision to have a small position just to track it because it could go crazy at a $22 million market cap. But anyway, it was really perfectly played. Well done on the execution there on STKH. A 2-day play for us. Now, moving to this morning's picks, it ended up being the top play for the day at up 31%. But we had some other top picks for today, and the top 5 you see here: Costco, Palantir, Tesla, SMCI, and NVIDIA. SMCI, I chose as our trade of the week last night on Wolf Financial Spaces, where I'm a panelist, and I think I'm probably winning with that pick right now. This one's great because it's actually, we're not in call options. But you could have been. Actually, you're in call options, I heard. But SMCI is when you get these stocks in the 3 figures, $100 plus, call options become very, very interesting. We've been playing it mostly with common stock, but we gave you the thesis last week. The trigger was the increase in guidance. We did the math with everyone who was watching us last week. So I'm looking for high 300s on this. Now, I did a little collaboration with our favorite technician, Rexman, earlier this morning. And his technical analysis is really matching our fundamental analysis of price target up in the high 300s. And we also had the catalyst yesterday of Rosenblatt coming in and raising their price target from $300 to 375. So this is actually our largest swing position now. This morning, the trigger was to go over the high of day on Friday. The high of day on Friday right here, you can see the top of this candle was $315.16. I basically said we're heading straight to 330. We're making a beeline to 330 once you break, because look at the candle. I don't see any candle resistance. You go backwards, right? Say, okay, you broke the 315. Now move to the left. Move to the left. What do you see? The only candle above that is the candle when it hit its all-time high at $329.07. So that's, you know, that's the way I do technicals. It works magic to me. Just looking at the candlesticks and the moving averages work perfect for me. I don't need anything fancier. So that's my prediction. 315 break, and we're heading for 329 plus with a fundamental target and a swing target up in the high 300s. So SMCI, our top swing position right now.
Yeah, loving it. Loving it, really.
All right. What else do we have here in a top 5? Costco, we initiated here, and this one we did get call options right at the open, I believe. Costco, look, we were late on this because we covered this actually a couple weeks ago with the QQQ rebalancing. We had a couple opportunities to get in after the rebalancing was announced, which would, you know, if you did the math on that, it was obvious to see that money would come out of Microsoft, Apple, and Google and go into stocks like Pepsi, Costco, and a few others. So Costco bounced off the 20 DMA, then it broke this candle resistance at 546.05. Those are two different potential entries. Unfortunately, I didn't have it on my radar, but you know what I saw last night? Check out the monthly chart. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
These monthly candles are amazing, man. This thing, so I had this on my radar. I'm like, okay, we're late, but big picture, maybe we're not late. The RSI is also 60 on the monthly. So to me, this is a cup breakout, right? And I'm looking for like 610. I already had this on my list last night. And then I think it was even during the show, right before the show, an analyst came out and they raised their price target. Here it is. Oppenheimer this morning raised it from 575 to 630. So that gave me more conviction for the trade, not because it's validating my idea, but because it's going to get other people excited. Right now we have stack catalysts. I only care about what other people think about a stock, not what I think about a stock. So now if other people have the go ahead that, wow, this analyst came out and said 630, right? That's a stack catalyst, story trading style that makes me even more convicted about this, that we're going to go and do this cup breakout towards 610 and maybe a little hit his target at 630. But the two resistance levels I have here are probably the top of this candle right here on March 1st would be about 586. And then after 586, 610, which is the top of this candle here on April 1st. So those are my two targets. And this is going to be a swing play for us, 586 and 610. And I think we're playing it mostly with call options on this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is another one. You know what's easy about plays like Cost and SMCI? Because there's like less downside risk, less risk of there's no risk of like an offering and things that you have with microcap. So it's easier for us, let's say in the fund, to go bigger in size, to have conviction buying call options, to ride it a bit longer because you just feel safer. And I think we've seen this from when we started the fund, that we kind of rotating towards these sorts of trades, and I'm loving it. It's been
you know, traditionally I've been a microcap investor, and over the past year I've been rotating into larger caps. And it's amazing because our process of identifying inflection points and looking for quick moves based on catalyst sentiment, technicals, and fundamentals, I would say work even better with larger caps than they do with smaller caps. So I never knew that would happen until I started putting it to practice, because I was saying, like, what's going to move? Like, how can a $1 trillion company move on sentiment? But yeah, it does. It moves on sentiment. You know, it moves on the same thing. They move like penny stocks, right? It's like you have like trillions of dollars with like hedge fund institutions out there, and they think like retail traders. They do. It's like the same psychology. The market psychology is exactly the same for mega caps as it is for tiny micro caps. The difference is that you don't have the skeletons in the closet and the offering risks that you do with microcaps. You don't have that with the larger caps, so it makes it pretty much
And
safer.
by the way, Ben, sometimes what we do, like me and Ben, we say we'll take a stock, let's say Costco, and we want to trade it, but it's hard because it seems so expensive, it seems so big. How can we trade something? But then we say, you know what, just put it in like lower, take off a few zeros. Instead of $566, let's imagine it was $5.66. would we
That's
feel
right.
better trading it down? And it's such a good, habit to do, because it really
Yeah.
helps us put it into perspective that, yeah, we could
Yep.
trade it. If it was $5.60, we'd definitely buy it. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Very good mental trick that we're using. That's working really well. Okay. So Palantir, another one we flagged this morning. It hasn't really exploded, but man, we got a good entry here because we had a great catalyst this morning. This is another one. We like this for the long term. We have a long-term allocation, but now as far as a like quick move today, tomorrow, right? We're looking at the catalyst this morning. We're looking at this 20 DMA, which is basically bounced off days, kind of bouncing off the 20 DMA. And then this morning we had a catalyst on artificial intelligence, AI, and automotive, a lot with electric vehicles and AI with JD Power, right? It's not the biggest catalyst in the world for a $35 billion company. I mean, how much are they making with this one contract, right? It's not going to, fundamentally, it's not going to move the stock 2%, right? So fundamental investor will say, oh, like that's nothing. Well, why is Ben looking at that? That's not material to a $35 billion company, but that's not how the market actually works. The market actually works story trading style, right?
yeah.
So basically it's a net aggregate opinion of all investors out there. And you have sentiment investors, technical traders, fundamental investors. You have everything out there. So when you go and consider it from that perspective, you say, okay, we have stacked pillars today. We have a catalyst on top of a 20 DMA bounce yesterday, on top of a fundamental tailwind in terms of, long term. They flipped to profitability. The story why it's on our watch list and why we established a long-term position this year, because I have 2 consecutive quarters of profitability. So now you have multiple story trading pillars working for you, which can increase your confidence that we are going to anticipate a move off of the bottom rather than a pure technical trader who may be like, I don't know, maybe they're waiting for to touch the 20 DMA, and maybe it goes 5 pennies under the 20 DMA and they end up getting stopped out of it because they don't have conviction, because they don't understand the fundamentals or the sentiment or the catalyst. So unlike those technical traders, we're able to anticipate this move. Now, I know it's only 2%, but actually we're making out on that. I think we got some call options, and we'll see. I think here, because we broke yesterday's high of 1669. Oh, we're right there right now. This is a key level, right? This is the candle analysis I just showed you with SMCI. You can do the same thing here. So above 1669, my next target's the top of this candle, which is 1750. So we'll see if we can get there either later today or tomorrow on Palantir.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that I really continue to love, and I think it's one of our biggest long-term holdings that we've held. You mentioned $9-10, but I think the bulk of it was at like $12.60 that we held from in the long term. And then trading shares, we got all out at $19, and that was beautiful. We got in, I think, around 13 for the trading shares, 13, 14 we added, and we got out 19. That was beautiful. And now we've added some back. I added some back 1648 in pre-market today.
Nice.
In the trading account. I haven't added to the long-term shares because we have a full position there. And it's looking great. It was a really nice swing. Yeah, it looks like a great swing.
Awesome. So looking good. So we're going down our list of the picks we gave you at 9 a.m. Eastern right now. Hold on. Let me see a couple comments here. All right, great. We got some beautiful, nice comments from everybody. So we have, we love you, Joseph from London. Great work, Ben and Yossi. So good stuff. All right. Thank you for those commentary, guys. So now, so we're going through again. These are the top 5 picks we gave you at 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay, at 9 a.m. Eastern. So far, Costco's up here 0.4%. Palantir, not only from the yesterday's close, but from 9 a.m., right? If you got in on our pre-market show, well, you'd be up slightly on Costco. On Palantir, you'd be up nicely, right? 1650, 1648 to where we are. 1669 looking really good, by the way, Palantir, to challenge the high of day soon. And then Tesla. Okay, so now Tesla. Oh, Tesla. Okay, Tesla. The reason it was here, so Tesla's a long-term pick for us, and we're not really trading it. It's just tucked away in our long-term account. But the reason I put it as top 5 was because we reclaimed, or we're trying to reclaim the 20 DMA, and that's a significant level, important level for traders. So that's why we had it here. And we also have the tailwind of last week's earnings, which I think I have a very positive, bullish interpretation of the earnings call and the conference call last week. So with that fundamental backdrop and the stock breaking above the 20 DMA, I put it in as our top 5 as a possible outperformer for the day. So has not outperformed yet for today, but it's having a strong afternoon. So that was Tesla.
Yeah,
And then,
Ben,
yeah,
the only thing I'll say about Tesla is that I would really love it to see it close above the 20 DMA, because it crossed above 20 DMA, I
you're
think,
right.
in post in like after hours. It didn't close above it yesterday, and now it's below it once it opened. So what I would really love to see again, yeah, a close above. It looks to me on Webull 272.32 is the 20 DMA right now.
Okay.
So it's risen slightly, but it would be lovely to see it close above that by the end of the
Yep.
day.
That's an important point. The RSI is low too, which I like here at 53. So if we
Nice.
close above that, it could be all engines go. Uh, did we talk about SMCI? I did, right? I gave you all the
Yeah,
comments here on
yeah.
SMCI. NVIDIA top 5. Really, it's just there was no catalyst this morning. That's why we put it 5th, right? We didn't really have a catalyst. It's just that almost every day they're getting price target increases. They had more yesterday. They didn't have any this morning that I saw. Um, DMA, and because it was like riding up to 20 DMA, this is just going to be up here every day. This is just going to be up here every day as long as it's above the 20 DMA. We're looking for upper 400s to 500 plus on NVIDIA because of the strong fundamentals and the strong technicals riding up to 20 DMA and the strong sentiment in the AI space that's going to give this stock a premium. So that's why we had that up there. So those were our top picks for today. Those are the top 5. And then STKH was kind of a 6th pick. Actually, right after the show ended, for you guys who are watching live, we moved it up to number 6. It was down there. It was down lower in the list. But for our app users, if you're a VIP member and there's a chat room in our app, you go to storytrading.com/app. In the app, as soon as the show ended, we said we're moving STKH into the 6th position. So we gave you these 6 stocks to watch today. And you can see if you only just averaged into each one of these 6 stocks, you'd be crushing the market today. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then SOUN, we gave this to you a short idea with a 250 target. And look, it hit 251. And this morning it was like 270. So we didn't short this. We tried to short it last night. We couldn't find shares. We couldn't locate the shares. And I don't think we're able. I'm not sure if we tried to do it again this morning, but this was an obvious move to the 200 DMA on the $400 million shelf offering with a market cap of $550 million now. It was a $700 million market cap. Now it's a $550 million market cap because it moved down the last couple of days. So, I mean, yeah, you avoid a stock when they're not profitable and they're going to dilute you by that much. That was an easy call, but we just did not execute on it. It was not our fault last night. We couldn't find shares to short. And this morning, I think we missed the short by a penny or something. But I think you had a 280 or 281 limit order to short it when it was hit 279. But also, we may have not been able to even find those shares to short anyway, even if it reached there.
Yeah, that's the thing sometimes with short ideas that we tried. I can't remember what other one we tried with. I think it was AI. One time when AI had like really was super high and we wanted to short it and we couldn't. There was a few times that we haven't had the shares available to short. So I guess, it's just part of it. So I did try to sell some shares today again at 283, I think, but never got there. So we didn't take part in that idea.
All right. Cool. It's 119. We try to end this at 130. I don't know who's on Twitter Spaces. I can't see that now. But maybe what we'll do is at the end of the show, if we build a nice audience every day on Twitter Spaces, what we'll maybe do is at 130, we can turn off the streams, hop on over to Twitter Spaces, and if anyone wants to talk to us, maybe we could do that. So I'll take a look at who's there after this ends at 130, and maybe we'll stay on for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. So what else I want to say? If you have any questions here on YouTube Rumble, you can put them up and we'll get your questions answered because we did now cover our top picks for the day. So we're going to go through here and see if there's anything else of note. DraftKings did have a catalyst this morning. And this one, I guess we kind of missed in terms of making a top pick. This had a big upgrade from $30 to $35. I like the fundamental tailwinds on DraftKings in the sector. TD Cowen, $30 to $35. We gave you the news this morning, but we can't have like 8 picks. We try to give you like 3 to 5. Today was like an exception. We had 6. Like we try to give you like 3 to 5 to 6 picks for the day, and just did not anticipate such a big move. But we're not going to get them all. But I do like DraftKings fundamentally, and we gave you the catalyst this morning So if you liked it, you could have taken DraftKings this morning.
Yeah, Ben, let me just ask you. I know you've already covered SMCI, but I don't think you said if it breaks the 330s, because I remember when we first got into it, you were saying my
initial target 330.
target is like 380. Is that still on the table for you?
Yes.
So the initial, and then we're going from there.
Yes. 330, 329. That's the initial target. Wow, I might get there today at this point. Nice. I'm going to win that competition at Wolf Financial Spaces this week. So yeah, that's my initial target. And you know what? Like I just noticed today, I thought I had SMCI in my IRA, but I didn't. I don't know. It was just an oversight. Like I have a lot of our favorite stocks, NVIDIA and Tesla, the big caps in my IRA, and I'm like, wow, I really thought I bought SMCI last week, and I guess I didn't. So I bought it here in the 320s, like 322, like a half hour ago before the show started, 45 minutes ago, and I felt really comfortable about it because these numbers. You're talking about a low 20s PE on a super hyper growth, fast growing company in the AI space. I mean, and sometimes you can't look at the chart. Sometimes you got to ignore this 86 to 322 and just do the math, and just it's not just the math, but also the sentiment of the space, the high growth. I mean, there's so many factors into this. So yeah, I bought a 322 and I'm not even going to watch it. Like I'll check back in the high 300s, SMCI.
Nice. Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, in a way, it's like a little bit of a better NVIDIA. It's moving. If you have noticed, it's been moving directionally with NVIDIA, right? It's been moving directionally with NVIDIA, but the moves are more pronounced because it's cheaper than NVIDIA, and that's why you're seeing 4.5% versus almost 3% on NVIDIA today.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of it's almost like it's almost like having an NVDL position by being in SMCI, which is the ETF that gives you like 1.5 times leverage on NVIDIA.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if there's anything else here we can talk about. We have earnings tonight, so beware that earnings are on Microsoft, Google, Vicker, and TDoc. We're not doing a 4 p.m. earnings show. No, we're not. Okay, but tomorrow we'll be on at 4 p.m. and there's gonna be earnings right at between 4 and 5 p.m. Some big cap megatech. So we'll do that tomorrow on Zoom for our Story Trading VIPs from 4 to 5 p.m. tomorrow. Microsoft. All the other big cap techs. Today it's Microsoft, Google, Vicker, TDoc, and if there's a trade in there, if we see something good, we'll let our VIPs know in the VIP chat at StoryTrading.com/app. All right. Tomorrow as well, we have a show with Chris Tuttle every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Chris Tuttle from SPACfest and IPO Candy is our fundamental and an investor who we consult with. We'll be getting some updates tomorrow on CYH. There's been news on GRIL. There's been news on CYH. There's been news on REL. We're going to talk to him about all three of these companies tomorrow at 12 p.m. to see if there's any opportunities. And I think there could be, especially in GRIL and maybe even CYH. So GRIL, CYH, and REL tomorrow at 12 p.m. Chris Tuttle from SPACfest, IPO Candy, exclusive to the Story Trading VIP community at 12 p.m. You got to be in our app. So go to StoryTrading.com/app to download that and get an edge by understanding some of the fundamentals involved with some of these companies. Miss Domino's, man. Domino's had they had earnings yesterday. I just, this was on our radar with the Uber deal last week. Gapped up on the Uber deal. They had earnings. The trailing numbers on earnings were not that impressive to me, but it's moving up based on commentary that they're going to get an additional $1 billion plus in revenue annually from the relationship with Uber and other aggregators. So it's moving up on the sentiment and the expectation that that deal is going to, make Domino's cheap at these levels. So there were a bunch of price target upgrades this morning. So, but we were not in this. We kind of overlooked this, not overlooked it, but we just had a different analysis. I thought the earnings were a little bit too rich, and I figured that the Uber was priced in from this move from 350 to almost 400 already. So this is a trade that we didn't take.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Any questions out there? We're coming up at 125. I'm just going to do a last scroll down our list out of our 300 stocks to see if there's anything we missed. And then we're going to switch on over to Twitter Spaces.
I just saw you scrolling. I saw that TSM has made a nice little comeback.
It did. So it was a good thing that we covered our short. We had a nice short there Thursday morning on the poor TSM earnings. So quickly made our profits, and we just saw the strength, and we saw it coming back. That's the same thing we did with the rel. We were short rel after earnings. We saw the strength, and so you got to respect the technicals sometimes. As a story trader, you can't be one dimensional. You can't be just fundamentals. You can get really screwed. So we look at the fundamentals. We'll make our short assessment if we think it's short. But then if the technicals are strong and it's breaking resistance levels, then we're going to close out our short. That's what we did early on. Pocketed, kept our gains in TSM, and I think with rel, we may have kept our gains, or if we lost, it was very small.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's keep going down this list here. We just got a couple minutes left, and we'll see if there's anything else of note to point out here. Yeah, I do like that Perry. I do. I don't have a position now, but I know Rex really bullish on Perry. Good fundamentals. AI benefit from Microsoft relationship. We're not in it now. Something we'll continue to monitor, maybe get back in at some point.
Yeah. Do you know what prompted Rex to bring it up? Was it just like a technical break or something?
I don't know. Maybe he's seen it on our show, or we mentioned it on one of the shows we had with him. By the way, we'll be on with him Thursday, 12 p.m. So maybe, it was on his radar because I brought it to his attention, but I'm not sure. He was just giving a chart update, I guess, today on Perry. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go on, scroll down, see if there's anything else we missed down over here. Now, what's interesting is when I start my day in the mornings, I'll tell you real quick, one of our routines, which is different than most traders, which helps us really do well. We're beating the markets today, last I checked. So our process being in the indices, but all right. Let's just check the biotricity up 13%. Nothing. Okay. All right. So this is what we do that's different. Most technical traders, they'll have, wow, look at that UPST. I don't know what the news was there, but there was apparently news up there, 18%. So most technical traders, they will make their pre-market decisions based on price action alone. Okay. They may even have screeners and triggers and notifications based on price action. The way we start our day, very often at 4 a.m., is through the newsfeed. I don't even look at the price. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll ignore the price action. I'll go right to the newsfeed and I'll just be swiping down for hours, as I'm getting ready in between, maybe I'll take a 10-minute break to, wash up, and then I'll come back in. I'll just swipe down with complete blind eye to price action. Because unlike technical traders who believe that the price action tells you the story, we believe the catalysts impact the technicals. So it's a kind of reverse. But then we also look at it, because we are story traders, looking at the catalyst, and then we'll flip back and we'll look at the price action, to look at it holistically. And that's what I did this morning as well. When I was choosing which ones to put in the top 5, I'm also looking at the early price action to see how's the market reacting to this news early in the morning, to give us an idea of what the rest of the market thinks of the news. Like, all of that goes into it. But I just think it's really interesting. Some people who are like, oh, you're just a day trader or whatever. It's like, not the traditional. If we are day traders, which we're not, we're not the traditional day traders. We're doing analysis. We're doing very fast, efficient, good analysis based on new information coming into the market. So that new information comes into the market on stocks that we're familiar with. We'll take that information. We'll take that press release. We'll interpret, how does this new data impact? How's this delta of information? What's the impact going to be in terms of a delta on price? And how do we do that? I've been doing this for 25 years. So I have experience with fundamentals, catalysts, sentiment, technicals, market psychology, all of it. So we take that press release and we make an assessment. I know this company. This is what I know about it. These are the factors that are important to it. These are the factors that's not important to it. How's this press release now going to impact fundamentals? What will the rest of the world think about this company after reading this press release? That's the sentiment pillar, right? We take that and we make a subjective analysis of, hey, this stock should be up today. And then I'll go look at the price action, and usually I'm right? It's like, okay, well, there you go. That's starting to move, right? But if you're fast in pre-market, a lot of times the big move doesn't happen until after the market opens. So there's plenty of opportunity to get in through the entire pre-market from 4 to 9:30 a.m. and even right at 9:30 a.m. through like the first 5-10 minutes. You still have time in a lot of cases to establish your position. So that's the process over at Story Trading. So hang on. If you're on Twitter Spaces, I don't even know who's there, so I'm going to hang on. Hang on. If you're there, we'll come to you. If you have questions, we'll talk to you. So what I'm going to do right now is play a video, a little bit about what Story Trading's about here for our YouTube and Rumble audience, and hopefully you folks on Twitter can hear it also. And just want to remind you, if you want to be part of our community, here at 9 a.m. show every morning at storytrading.com/app. You go there right now. You can get a free trial. And also every week at Wednesday at 4 p.m., we get on a collaborative Zoom session to talk to you about your ideas or earnings or discuss earnings, like we're going to be doing earnings tomorrow at 4 p.m. And we also have other shows throughout the week, like we have Chris Tuttle tomorrow at 12 p.m. We have Rexman from Rock Spear Trading Thursday at 12 p.m. So head on over to storytrading.com/app, set up your free profile. And there's lots of other free features that we're building on this app with watch lists and news feeds and things like that as well. All right. So with that, let's just play this little explainer video and we'll see you on Twitter Spaces in just a minute.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story Trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.